Hello, how are you? Who have I got there? Sorry, I'm jiggling you around a bit. I realised I put you down too low. I don't quite know how I've done that. Oh, my sweatshirt up here as well, sorry. I've just come back from my walk, which was nice. There we go. Let's see who we've got. So if anyone's new, I always come on a few minutes early and just say hello, just so that everyone knows they're in the right place. So don't worry that I'm not doing anything already. I'll start in a few minutes, just gone past. Well, because it's a sunny day, I do wonder if anyone's going to be out there today. And I've got to say, I had a lovely walk out there today. It was absolutely fantastic. Oh, I've got somebody. Hello, who's there? Oh, it's Anita and Emily. Hello, nice to see you both. I'm just going to move these around a bit. I literally just got in from my walk a few minutes ago. So we don't need that face today either. I've nearly run out of pages here. I've done so many lessons. I haven't added it up, but I think it's something like 26 lessons so far. So there's certainly some others there that maybe some of you have missed that you can catch up on. Nice to see you anyway. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea as per normal. If anyone knows me knows I'm a complete teaaholic, if there's such a thing. So I hope you're all enjoying the sun. Oh, we've got 5 now. Hello. I'm going to start in a minute, so don't worry if you've just tuned in what I'm doing. I'm just saying hello to everyone so that you know that I'm here. I'll start in about 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just thought it was a good thing to come on a little bit early just so people know I'm here. I'll start in earnest, as they say, in a few minutes' time. But it's a beautiful day out there. I started off with rain here. I don't know what your weather's been like, but it's turned into the most gorgeous day. Saying that, it's getting a little bit duller now, but it's still quite nice. So I should imagine quite a few people are out in the garden. Do say hi so I know who's out there. I know it sounds weird, but I always find it nice to know who's there, because otherwise I'm standing here in an empty room talking to myself, which feels a bit peculiar. But anyway, there we go. What news have I got? I think I told you yesterday, but on Friday I taught 4 doctors in Devon, and they did the full-on sketch lessons, which was lovely. And so if anyone else wants to do that, for anyone that I haven't shown before, this is the lessons that I sell basically mainly, which is this 9-hour course that completely converts anyone from 0 to hero. Stroke victims, Parkinson, children, the lot. So 3-hour progress, 10-year-old girl, not copying, totally understanding the core fundamentals. 3 hours on perspective, even architects have said how much they've learnt. 3 hours on paint and colour. And then this was the 5-lesson progress of a 90-year-old stroke victim, 4-lesson progress 50-year-old German lady, 3-lesson progress 40-year-old Sri Lankan man. So I also do huge events with companies. Now somebody just asked what equipment you need today. You need paper, pens, colours, pencils and a ruler, or a straight edge of some description. It doesn't have to be a ruler. Possibly you could use the side of a book or something, but a ruler generally would be easier. If anyone missed it the other day, there's this one still 2 days ago. I think we did this theatre one with all the backdrops and things, so you could do all the layers of all the scenery on it. So if you need something else to do over the next couple of days, maybe back up to that one and do a bit of work on it, because that was quite good fun. We will start in a minute. I think I've got some new people up today, so don't worry, I'm just talking for a minute till we get to 1:30 just to introduce myself. So my name's Jeannie and I teach art. I've taught art and I used to teach drama as well in private and state schools across the world. Devised a unique system of teaching art, which I was just talking about, which means anybody in the space of 9 hours has a complete knowledge of art. Even graduates and architects have been amazed by what they learned. And then numbers of my students are now selling in galleries across the world in their own unique styles after only about 20 odd hours of tuition, which is very different to other art classes. Oh, there's a number of you today. That's lovely. I'm so glad you've all come along. Okay, so as I said, if you look back, there's about 26 other lessons. This was one we did the other day with the theatre, and we did it with a cereal packet, and we did it with all the different bits of scenery that come up and down and things. We did that a couple of days ago. We've done puppets, we've done printing. So if you're new to it and see me today, don't think that's all there is. And I've labelled up the more recent ones, but you can tell I keep changing sweatshirts and things, so don't think it's the same one that you're looking at necessarily. There's about 24 of them out there, I think, at the moment. Okay, so today we're going to do something on perspective, and I'll start in just a moment. So you need ruler, A4 paper, coloured pens, pencils, a pencil, crayons, anything that takes your fancy, and just a boring old piece of white A4 paper. And if you've done any of the lessons and you make something, please send them to me so I can see what you've been up to. Oh, hello Anthony, that's nice that you're there. Morwenna, it's all sorts of people. Sorry I've missed a few as you've gone by. I do apologise. Hello to everyone that's there, and do say hi. Now, when I'm working today, for anyone new, please send me hearts and thumbs ups and things when you've done each bit. That way it gives me a sense of timing, because I'm used to teaching to a room of people. Then you can kind of see where they are. I'm teaching to an empty room at the moment, so if you can help me a bit, send me hearts and thumbs ups and smiles and whatever when you're ready. Okay, so ruler, pencil, paper, crayons, felt pens, anything you fancy. Okay, right, we shall begin. First one, we're going to do two different versions of this today. If anyone wants to contact me about private lessons or about events, there's my email address, so www.artatthebeach.co.uk, and I'll pop that up again at the end. First one, we're going to make the first one really simple, and this is all to do with something called a vanishing point. Now I'm just going to take my little man off my ruler who was there for my theatre, because I think he might get in the way. I'm going to do a very simple one first, and we're going to do a slightly more complicated thing afterwards. So we're going to do two things today. So probably two separate bits of paper would be a good idea. I don't mind which way you do this today, and I'm just going to do a bit closer to my board. There you are, so you should be able to see it. You can do whichever way you like, but what we're going to do, in pencil, I'm only working in pens so you can see what I'm doing. I want you to do a horizontal, that means completely straight across line. Then you want to do a vertical one, which means you've got a right angle in the corner, and you can use the corner of the ruler to get that. Oops, and mine's got a bit bendy, never mind. Then I'm going to go across horizontally again, and then I'm going to go up vertically again. And try and make your corners meet, it'll be better, but you're working in pencil, so you can go over it in pen afterwards. So hopefully you can see that. I might see if I've got a darker pen, just so you can see it even better. Let me just have a fiddle for a second. That one doesn't look like it's showing up very much. Oops. So I think you've seen a few different directions of my art room. I've got boxes with everything in it, so let's see if I've got a better pen here. Oh yeah, this one should do it. Great big black one that you will see. So, if I get one of these out quickly, let's see if I can make this so it's even clearer for you. And I thought that purple one would work. So you've got a great big black square, or yours is pencil. I'm going to do mine in black now, and you can see this a bit better than the other one I just did. And that's square number one. Now we're going to do another couple of interesting shapes. So I'm going to do one over here, and this one I'm going to make an oblong, which means that the sides, two sides are one length and the opposite two sides are shorter or longer. So I'm going to go across and do that one. This is in pencil still for you. You can go over it in pen later when you're happy with everything. And I'm going to do another one over here. So I don't want them too close to each other, but I just want them making a nice interesting shape. There was an artist called Mondrian, and he did lots of sort of squarey, shapy things like this. I did artworks with them, but the perspective bit wasn't him, but he did some very interesting art. There we go. So we're going down, oops, like that. So there we go. You've got 3 squares on this. You could do a 4th one over here. I'm just going to do a tiny one. Well, actually, I don't think I will. I'll just do the 3 for now. So this one's a trial run for you, and then you can play with this all afternoon. Now, as daft as this might sound, we're going to pretend that we're a bit like my bird picture here, and we're now a bird flying in the air over a city, and what we're actually looking at here, hello Hilary, is the roofs of the buildings. So this is the roof of one building, this is the roof of another, and this is the roof of another. We could also be Superman. If you'd rather be Superman, we could be many things. So we're basically, though, one way or another, I suppose we could be in an aeroplane, although there aren't many flying at the moment, we are above the buildings looking down. So we're going to pretend that we've got this thing called a vanishing point, that if you ever want to do the full lessons with me, I will fully explain. But for today's point of view, I'm just going to tell you that it exists. And that's that illusion when things seem to disappear to one place in the distance. Now, because we're flying over these skyscrapers, we're looking down into the distance at the road. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go from that cross that we put, so X marks the cross. It's a bit like our Treasure Island one that we did. And I can't cut across the top of the building, but I can come from the 3 corners, and using a ruler and your pencil, I'm only using the pen so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to join the 3 sides of that building down to my cross, and we start getting the view almost like we're Superman or an aeroplane or something flying over the skyscraper. Now I'm going to join the sides of this one. Now I can't join that corner because I'd have to cross the roof of the building, but I can join that corner. So you only join the corners that don't make you cross the roof. And I'm going to join that one down, and then I'm going to come across this way and join that one down. And I'm going to try this corner, but no, I can't do it because I'm going to cross the roof of the building. Now you start getting the illusion that you're looking down a massive skyscraper down towards the road here in the distance. I'm now going to do this square, and I'm going to have to bring everything back to that same vanishing point. So I can come from corner number 1 and I can work that one across to that cross that I gave myself, or that could have been a dot. That's one. This one can go back there. But I can't do that one or that one because I'd have to cross the roof again. So we can't do that. So now you've got the illusion that you're looking down on these buildings from above. So you've got a bird's eye view. So it's like you're flying as Superman or something over the top. Now, you can look at them as buildings, or you can just look at them at blocks. Now, a really good way to make this work even better might be to cut it all out at the end and stick it onto black paper. That always looks very effective. But the way to colour this is this. Now, you can colour it obviously however you like. But quite a good trick with something like this is to make a choice. I'm just going to make sure this one's working. All right, so if I say that anything that is on the right of the square is red, I could colour this one in red. So this one I'm colouring in red, that side of the building. But I can't colour in this one over here red because I can't see it, and nor can I colour that one there red because I can't see it either. So that's the only one that's going to be red. Now, if I choose, let's say blue, let's just check this one's working all right. I might say that the underneath one here is blue, so I'm going to colour that one in bright blue. And I haven't got another underneath one on that one or this one, so I'm not going to colour them anything. Now this one is over to the right, so maybe I'll choose another colour. And you could be doing these in stripes or in circles or something. So this one I'm going to colour yellow because it's to the right. And I haven't got a right one on this one, and I haven't got a right one on this one, so I'm not going to do anything else yellow. And this time I've got the top of this one, I'm going to do green. Like that. But I can't see the top of this one, and I can't see the top of this one. So I'm not going to do any colour. And then I could do the fronts of them all in something else. So I'm going to do the tops of them, I'm going to do them in pink dots, the tops of them, just because I haven't got another colour that will fill in such a big space, but I'm going to do them all with pink dots on the top. So then we recognise that they're all talking about the top one. So that's talking about the top on each of these. Like that, so we know they're all the tops. Now if I drew another one, then you can see how I then choose the colours. So I'm going to put another one down here. Now you should be drawing it with the ruler. I'm just going to draw it quickly freehand. And now if I put this one here, always start with the closest things to your vanishing point first. This corner here can go back to the vanishing point. So I'm going to add this one in. This one here can go back to the vanishing point. Now this one here is a bit tricky because it can go to the vanishing point, but I don't want to draw through that other block. I want the line to start after that block. Now you can start seeing it starting to look really quite cool. Now I've still got nothing on that side that's red because I'm not seeing anything else from that side, but this side is yellow, so this one here will also be yellow. So if I colour this one yellow, then it's telling the viewer that this is the same side as this one, but of another block. The front again will have pink dots because that's been my rule. So I'm just going to put the pink dots there rather than colour the whole of that in. I would suggest you actually colour the tops of the buildings in, but I know that I haven't got enough pen there to do it. And we know here the top section is green, so we've got a top section down here on this one. So we're also going to make it, whoops, green, this one here. So that one's going to have a green top. And we've talked about this before, always colour in the direction of flow or growth. So I'm going to colour that way because that's the way that that one would go. It's flat, so I'm colouring it straight across. And I'm colouring up to the edges. Now your colouring obviously will be a lot better than mine. I'm doing this really quickly. But can you see how we're getting this amazing illusion of looking into these buildings from above now? And then if you wanted to, you could always draw like a huge open wings of a bird or something across it, and you could go on adding more buildings. I'm just going to add another building over here, so I'm going to pop another one in here. Always start with the buildings nearest the middle first and then work out to further ones. So I've got that one now. Same rule, I'm going to bring all of his corners to that middle point, but here I don't want to draw over his floor, and nor do I want to draw across the other block, but I need to draw the beginning line of that one. That one won't work, and this one won't work. Well, actually it does, just. There's a little sliver in there, so let me get that one in. And so, again, the rule is that anything we're seeing that side is red. So I'm going to colour that little sliver also in red. And then the underside here is blue, so this underside there must also be blue. And basically we're telling a story by keeping one theme, that if it's right, left, top, bottom, that we're only using the same colour each time for it. Right, there we go. I'm just going to colour that one in so it's blue. And you can start seeing how you could get a whole street that you're looking down on. So the trick again, if you're in any doubt, is put a cross in the middle and maybe put 3 or 4 blocks separately around it. Do them first. As you start putting in more and more around, then do them second, otherwise you'll get confused where your lines go. So if I now put another block over here, then if I get my ruler again, I take the corners and bring it over like that. This one I can't draw over that box, but I can still join the corner but only draw up to the other box. And the top one doesn't work, so I know this side here has to be red because everything on that side is red, so this one becomes red. And maybe you do it in more subtle colours than me. Maybe you do it in shades of grey if it's a city, or maybe you just want it to be building blocks. That's up to you. And the front face of that again is going to have polka dots on it again, which is my way of just saying I would have coloured it pink, but I haven't got enough colour on my pens to do it. Now if I bring you up a bit closer, you can start seeing, you get an amazing thing. I quite like them if you cut them out afterwards and stick it on black. The other thing that you could do is actually you could almost even draw the road running through this town. And I don't know what the town is, but if you like any of these games on the internet where you design your own town, you could maybe do your own aerial version of your own town. So there you go. So that's idea number 1 for today. So I hope you like that. If you'd like to screenshot it right now or something, that might give you some ideas. So why not do that? And then I'll do the other idea, which is based on a similar idea. But they're both based on 1 point perspective, which is a useful skill to have. So that's number 1. And number 2, we're going to be a bit wacky, because I like wacky and it's a Sunday, so wacky's good. Oh, well that's wacky, I wasn't expecting rabbits. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to have to do it on my whiteboard. Sorry, I'm going to have to get a new flip chart for the next lesson. So let me just rub my rabbits off without knocking the board down, which is my normal trick. Right, rabbit's gone. That was from the other day. And this one, let me make sure I've got the whiteboard pen so I don't ruin the board. Yeah, right. So this time we're going to, either with a ruler or just freehand, we're going to do square writing. So my name's Jeannie, so I'm going to have to write this backwards for you. I just realised because the camera goes round the wrong way. So let me just write this the wrong way around for you. So Jeannie would be J, like this, and I'm making it kind of square. Be better if I'd made it a bit more square. Then the E, we might just have to have Jean for this. So E, A, yeah, we're going to just have Jean today. Jean, J-E-A. And then the last letter, let me get this the right way around for you watching. So I'm writing backwards for me at the moment, so it's forwards for you. There you go, Jean. I hope I've put this the right way around and I haven't written everything back to front. So there's my name in squares. Oh, that looks all right. Okay, so what we're going to do then is turn this into perspective. And what I'm going to do now is put a little cross either just above or just below. I like it when it's just above, so I hope you can see the top of the board. You can. I'm going to put a little cross at the top there. And that's my vanishing point this time. And we're going to start from the top again. So I'm going to start from the tops of the letters, and that one should have been a bit more straight across. So you need them straight across. And I'm going to take from the corner there all the way back to that vanishing point. Then I'm going to come to the next top of the letter, which is the top of the N there, and go back to the vanishing point. Then I'm going to come back from the top of the N. So I'm doing all the tops of the letters first. So I'm coming all the way back. Then I'm going to come back from the other side of the N there. And you can start seeing it all starting to turn 3D. It's not there yet. We've got more to do. But I'm just going to do the tops of the letters first. So I'm going to do the top of the A now, coming back to the vanishing point, and the other side of the top of the A, coming back. Now I'm going to do the top of the E, coming back, like that. And then I'm going to do the top of the J, coming back. So both ends of the J. So we're starting to get 3D, but we've got a way to go yet. Now I'm going to start with the J to make it easy with you. I've now got to take both of these bits of that J back over there. Now again, the rule is I can't draw over something else. So all I can do is go from there to there and only up to the edge of the J like that. And then this corner back to the vanishing point again. And then you start getting the illusion that you're looking into the J. And then I've got to take the very back end here at the bottom of the J back. So I'm going to go like that. But I can't cross over anything else. So I can't go over anything on my E. So I'm just going up to the E like that. And I've got to do that bottom edge of that J just there as well. But I can only take it across to the E. So there, my J, that looks like it, should now be 3D. I now need to do the E. If I took a line back from there, it's not going to show. So now I've got to take a line back from this little bit in here. So I'm going to go up like that. I've got to go from the end of the E there, like that, and the end of the E there like that. Then I've got to come into that corner there of the E, but I can only go up to the E itself, and then up. No, that's wrong, sorry. Up to the E there, and then I can take that one all the way back from that bit of the E all the way back to the back, and you start having a 3D E going all the way back. So you basically take each corner of each letter and you decide, can I take this back to the vanishing point? That one I can, that one I can't because I'm going to be crossing things. That one I can for a little way, that one I can for a little way but not for far. And that's the A done. And now with the N, I can take that bit of the N back for a little way, that bit of the N back for a little way, and I think that's it. So now we've got Jean in 3D. And then, just to finish off, we're going to go back to what we did before. And you don't have to use the colours I'm using. It's just use shades of grey or use different colours. But anything that is over on the right, I'm going to do with one colour. So let me see if I've got some coloured whiteboard pens. I think I have. Yeah, these are dry white ones, so that's good. We can use those because I don't want to ruin the board by using permanent markers. So if I do this bit red, anything that I'm looking at on that side will become red. So that bit there will be red all the way back. This side here will be red all the way back. And you're going to colour better than I am between the lines. This bit in here is also going to be red because it's over to the that side of the letter. This bit in here will be red. This bit in here will be red, and this bit here would also be red. Now on this side I've got nothing that I'm looking at from that side, so nothing's red. So these ones were all red because I was looking at that side of them, and you'd colour them all in. The other ones I'm going to do green on this side. So if it's this side of it I'm looking at, which it is here, then this side of the E is green, and that little sliver there would be green, and I can't see that side there. So it's nothing. This bit of the J here is going to be green, and also this bit of the J here would be green. So we're starting to get we're making even more of our 3D by playing with the colours on it. And this part in there would also be green, and this bit would be green because they're all to the left. Now I'm going to do the tops of everything. So I'm running out of colours here, but I'm going to make the tops blue. So that means the top of these letters in all cases will be blue. So this bit up here will be blue. This one here will be blue. This one here will be blue. And this could be anything that you were drawing. It's just a way of making you see how perspective works. This one here is blue. This one here is blue. This bit up, all the way up here is blue. And this edge of the J down here is blue because it's flat. It's the flat top of the J. And this top bit here is also blue. When I was at school, we used to have to cover our books, and I always wrote my name in this sort of writing on my school books. And then the front of each one, I'm going to make black just so you can really see it. So if I colour these in black now instead of having them in white, the front of the letter in each case can be pure black. And then with any luck, that will make the 3D stand out even more to you. But you need to colour in better than I have. But the rule is start from the middle and work out. And don't cross another solid object when you're doing it. So with the skyscrapers, they were easier. The letters of a name is much harder. But if you can sort it out with the letters of your name, then you really start understanding perspective really well. And using the colours to define if it's right, left, middle, top, bottom, etc. is a really good way of going about it. There's J-E. Can you see it looking quite 3D now? I'll bring you up a bit closer. So there you are, J-E. Let me do the E and the J. And then for today, I would screenshot it again if I was you, because then you've got something to work from. Now, I did say at the beginning of the lesson, there's about 26 of these lessons floating around now on Art Jeanni. So if you've enjoyed it today, have a look. And even if this one wasn't your favourite one, do have a look, because they're on, you name it, it's on it. This was just an idea I had for today. So this one's the perspective lesson. And there's a lot more to perspective than this, but at the same time, this is a good start. And if you understand this, then you're doing very, very well. And if anybody should want any private lessons, do contact me, as I said, on www.artatthebeach.co.uk. So there you go. Now you can see Jean, and it's coming out, popping out in 3D with the different colours. Now, I was limited with the colours. It might have been nice if one of the faces had been yellow or something. So that was the one, and the other one is here. I'm going to bring it back over. Where did it go? There it is. The other one was looking down on the buildings and doing a perspective that way. So they're two ideas for today, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Have a fiddle with them. There's all sorts of things you could do with that. It's a case of drawing something and then taking it back to a vanishing point in the distance. It's quite a good exercise. You can do it with roads, you can do it with all sorts of things. So you could do a street that was disappearing into the distance and the buildings would be disappearing into the distance. And just play with it. Something like perspective, don't expect to get it right first time. Have a few goes at it, all right? And just so you all know, I've got something else happening tomorrow that I can't change. So just tomorrow, and I think that's, I hope you don't mind, but this is the first time in, I think, 26 lessons in a row. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I will be back on Tuesday. So I'll put a list up tomorrow night of what you want for Tuesday. And tomorrow, what I'd like all of you to do, you regulars, is I would like you to do something without me tomorrow based on one of the lessons, and then send it to me so I can see what you do. So you have the ideas tomorrow, but you can base them on all the things we've done, the weaving, the puppets, the lot. Do save up your toilet rolls, because one day this week we're going to do the toilet roll thing, and you need about 12 toilet rolls for it. So if you've been collecting those, we'll do that later in the week. Okay, but I'm not going to be around tomorrow, but you've got all the old lessons to go back to, but I'll be back again on Tuesday. I hope that's all right. Please send me your pictures. I love seeing them. Take care. Lots of love to all of you, and do, you know, backtrack on these. I keep putting them all up for free on my Facebook, and so if you've got one that you missed tomorrow, you could do that as well if you wanted to. Anyway, take care, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you on Tuesday at 2:30 as normal. And if anyone wants any children's parties, art lessons, anything else, this is all for free for my contribution to the the NHS. Take care. Lovely to see you all. Bye.